You hurriedly get out of the car after you park it and about to leave when someone honked the car's horn, which surprised you. What the heck? You mumbled. Step aside, you're blocking the vacant space. The driver of the car said, no one other than Dr. Jungkook. Jungkook is the new head doctor. He is your crush back then when you were still studying medicine. You both wanted to be a surgeon doctor, but because of one accident, you don't want to do any surgery again. He is your crush, but he doesn't like you. He always ignores you. Usually, you call him Grumpy Guy. You don't know why he always mad at you. So instead of conveying your feelings for him, you decided of teasing him every day, like asking him if he will marry you, if you two become a successful doctor. Every time you ask him like that before, his answer was always, no, that won't happen. After you became a doctor, you didn't see him anymore. Then you just heard that he worked abroad. After 8 years, you meet again. And now, he is the head doctor at the hospital where you work. And also, like before, he's still the same, the guy who always hates you. You quickly move and step aside as you saw him parking his car. Next time, don't get in the way, Jungkook said while getting out of his car. Next time, don't surprise me, you replied. He just looked at you while furrowing his brows, at the same time walked going inside the hospital, until you thought of teasing him like he always does before. Jungkook, Jungkook, will you marry me? He stopped walking and turned his body to face you. You clearly saw that he smirked and came closer to you. Until now, you haven't changed. You're still the YN that I hate. If I will marry you, are you sure you can handle me? You lost your words after you heard him. It was the first time he spoke to you like that. See, you can't answer me. But back then, you have a lot of courage to ask me if I will marry you. He said and flicked your forehead and left you. What is that? Is he serious or he just teasing me? After checking on your patients, you finally had the chance to rest. You went to rooftop to have some fresh air. Later on, someone came and handed you a cup of coffee. You look up and smile. Thank you, Doc Lee. You said and took the coffee from his hand, while Doc Lee sat next to you and have coffee together. Doc YN, what are you planning for? What do you mean? You're a very good surgeon. Your ability will be wasted if you're going to stop being a surgeon. I mean, when do you plan to go into surgery again? To be honest, I don't know. Until now, I still haven't accepted what happened to Kyle. Until now, I'm still blaming myself for what happened to him. But it's not your fault. What happened to him is not your fault. Okay, I'm sorry if I brought Kyle to our conversation. By the way, are you available this Sunday? My family will go camping in the mountain. You want to come? You smiled widely and held his hand. Really? I can come like last time? You know I was really enjoyed last time, you said. Of course you can come. But just ignore my parents. For sure they will tease you again. You know my parents wanted you to be their in-law. Don't worry. I'm used to your parents. Until you felt strange. You felt goosebumps like someone is watching you. You look around. as you got startled after seeing Jungkook giving you a death glare in the distance. You also look at him, but he doesn't even move. He keeps staring at you as if you did a big crime. What? You mouthed. He don't say anything. What? You mouthed again, but this time he left without saying anything. What's wrong with him? Huh? Nothing. Don't mind me. Let's go inside. You were in your office getting ready to go home when someone knocked on the door. Come in, you said. The door opened, the nurse Kim entered. Doc YN, Doc Jun is calling you to his office. The grumpy doctor? Nurse Kim laughs and says, Yes, Doc. He said he wants to talk to you right now. While walking going to his office, you keep on asking yourself if you did something wrong. Why the grumpy head doctor is looking for you. You knock on the door as you heard him saying come in. You slowly walk inside. There you saw Jungkook sitting on his chair while staring at you, directly into your eyes. Doc Jun, do you want to talk to me? Sit down. You sat in front of him, but your eyes were looking around, trying to avoid his gaze. Why you always smiling at boys? Do you like him? Huh? Nothing. I have an operation with a VIP patient this Sunday. Doc Park is not available. He also has an operation, so I don't have an assistant in the operation. I need you to be my assistant this Sunday. Your hand starts shaking the moment you heard operation. You quickly rolled your fist so it stopped in shaking. But Doc June, you're about to tell something, however, he didn't let you finish your words. Why? Do you have a date this Sunday? So you're not available? That's not what I meant. I have my own reason why I don't want to be a part of any operation again. Doc YN, maybe you have forgotten that it is our duty to save lives. I heard you are one of the best surgeons in this hospital. If you don't want to be a part of the operation, I will do. Then why don't you just resign? You bite your lips in annoyance with him, and unexpectedly you suddenly says, Fine, I will agree to be your assistant in the operation. Good. That's all. You can go now. You give him a sudden death glare and you stand up as you walk going to the door. But before you reach the door, he spoke again. But this time, he just called you by your name. YN. You stop walking. At the same time, you look back while asking, What now? You still haven't answered my question. What question? If I will marry you, are you sure you can handle me? You tilted your head confused as you stared at his eyes, trying to read his thoughts. If he is serious, or is he just teasing you like you always did before to him back in college days? Later on, he chuckles and took his phone. Just go. Don't mind me. After you left, he opened the drawer and took out the small box that contained a ring and stared at it. Am I late? He sighed deeply. Then he leaned his head on the headboard of the chair. As he started scrolling his phone, looking at the picture of the girl that he loves, no other than you. Actually, Jungkook had a crush on you since college, but he didn't have the courage to tell you. There was a time he tried to tell you, but it happened. You always asked him first if he would marry you. He thought you were just teasing him like you also did to your older mate friend. I always heard you asking that to him. So instead of pursuing his feelings, he tried to act cold in front of you. He was being contented and staring at you from a distance, taking pictures of you in secret. You sat on the chair as you start thinking after realizing what you answered him earlier. What I'm going to do. You leaned your head on the table and closed your eyes instead. Few minutes, you suddenly woke up with the sound of your phone. You didn't realize you had fallen asleep. You answered the call after seeing that it was Doc Lee. Where are you? I've been looking for you to say goodbye before I leave, but I can't find you. By the way, I already left to prepare for our camping tomorrow. Doc Lee, I'm sorry I can't go camping with you. Something came up. Is there something wrong? No. Just have fun with your family. The next day, you were in the washing area, cleaning your hands. In a few minutes, the operation was about to start. After you washed your hands, you raised them since Nurse Lee was still getting gloves and operation gown. When someone came and put them on the gloves on each of your hands. I'm okay. Nurse Lee is on her way. She's not coming. After that, he came in front of you and put the operation gown on you. At this time, you were holding your breath so that Jungkook wouldn't hear your heartbeat. All this time, you thought you already forgot your feelings for him, but it looks like you made a mistake. Jungkook went at your back to tie the operation gown. Your heart was racing nonstop, especially when you heard his breathing at your back. Are you ready? He asked. Oh, you started to reply. YN. I love. He was about to say something, but unfortunately, Nurse Nam, who will assist him, came with gloves and operation gown. Just wait for me, he said and started washing his hands. You entered the operating room as you saw everything was ready. The VIP patient was also asleep. Until a flashback came that makes you start sweating. Doc Ryan, are you okay? Yes, I am. You sit and take a step closer to the patient, trying to give yourself a strength. Jungkook started to operate the VIP patient. What you are doing is just assisting him. The operation went well, not until the middle of the operation. The patient was bleeding all of a sudden. What you felt 6 months ago during Kyle's operation come back. You were just dumbfounded while your hand was shaking non-stop. Doc YN. Doc YN! Junko calls you several times, but this time you don't hear anything. Doc YN, come back to your senses! YN! You look at him while breathing heavily after your senses returned. Everything is okay. Relax. You didn't say a word. You just nodded. After 6 hours, Jungkook and you successfully finished the operation. You did a good job, but you suddenly fell on the floor as he saw you unconscious. His eyes widened as he flew to pick you. However, someone entered the operating room and pushed him. That guy picked you and carried you going out of the operating room. But before that, stay away from her.